Hey y'all, so you may know that Leia, the black one over there, and Poxy, the orange one digging up to the left of her, are constantly jumping this 2-foot chicken wire, even though their wings are clipped. So they cause a ton of damage really quickly, and I went and bought some panel that's a little bit taller, 3 feet. So also bought some larger posts, and then I bought this post. I'm going to make a door right here, and I'm going to put the post there and have hinges. So I'm improving this area and making it to where the chickens can still get out if I let them out to forage for a little bit, but they can't just constantly be destroying everything. Here's where I'm at. I didn't have enough 50 feet. I was gonna cut out this part, but the shade is to the north, which is on this side, and they need it in the summer. We are gonna reposition this better, but I was able to go from here all the way around the back and to here. Alright, so I'm out here working on replacing this last section right here. I went and bought some more posts because I'm now going to have extra panel, and I want to make an archway right there and some other things. And it kills me to replace these things, and I'll find someone who needs them, or I'll find some use for them, but I hate wasting things. I hate buying new things. I like to reuse. I like to make do with what I have, and a lot of times that hinders my projects and leaves me with tons of dead plants over the summer when I could have just invested a little in myself and built a structure with a shade cloth here. And that's a lesson for me, is that being ultra frugal and making do with what you have isn't always the best. Sometimes it's okay to spend a little money on yourself or your land to make it look nicer. Like, I don't like to spend money on anything. I just don't. But it's worth it to me to finally have an archway here and a walkway across my creek bed, and to have this chicken fence that I don't have to constantly be worrying, are the chickens out? 5 minutes later, are they out again? Have to constantly run out here making sure they're not just destroying everything. So sometimes it's okay to not be super frugal. I still want to find a way to reuse those materials I do have, or find someone who needs them. But so it's frustrating to me to have to spend this extra money and buy new materials, but I think in the end it's really going to be worth it for this area. I didn't know much about owning chickens, and I thought, okay, this is called chicken wire. Must be to keep chickens in or out of things, and I'll need these little posts. And for 2 of our chickens that works. The other 2 just could hop it, no problem, all day long with their wings clipped, and it's just gotten to be too destructive. I can't do special projects. I can't make things look nice. So earlier in the year, over the winter, last time I dug out this beautiful well, and they instantly destroyed it, and I dug it out again and they destroyed it. And so now I've cleaned it out again, and I've got a path, and I'll have this arch here. And then I also dug out right here. They had dug tons of wood chips from the food forest into this area, and I had to pick them all out and dig down low. And so I'm hoping some frogs can spawn in there. I'm going to clean up the creek bed, keeps going back here, and I'm going to clean up under these blackberry bushes, and that'll be a shady habitat that maybe can hold some water, and also hold some water over here for wildlife. So these are things I can't do with the chickens being free, because they destroy something like that in an instant. As an example, this elephant ear used to be like probably 10 times this size. It used to be from here all the way around like that, and now it's just this because they dug up everything around this area and just destroyed it all. And I don't mind setting this back a bit. It's not edible, it is pretty, and I want turmeric to kind of take over this area, but it's still frustrating. And it's just an example of how these chickens do not want to let me get anything done. And so now that they are almost locked up, I can do things like this. And I'm gonna set up the camera of me replacing this fence so y'all can see that. Another important thing to note, if you're doing this for the first time, you don't want to unroll this way and connect it to here and then continue down, because that's going to be working against the natural bend, and you want that natural bend going to the inside of your structure. So you want to flip this over and now when you're rolling out and going along, it's wanting to go inside, so it'll really conform to your posts for a pretty nice straight. This material is just so much better than this. It's so flimsy and it doesn't really stay where you put it. Alright, enough talking about it. Let's replace this section here. First I just need to unwrap. I kind of wrap this around the end of this to this section here. Hold it on good. I do need to wrap up that other section tighter over there, but for now I'm just going to pull this to the side and I'll deal with wrapping it up later. I want to get the new structure in place to keep these chickens in here, because they're just going to walk right out. Poxy, they don't care. Temporarily put this here. Foxy's already trying to get out. So I'm going to tighten this up once I get to the end here. Just trying to hurry along. Obviously this post is too short for this, but like I said, it's just temporary. We're building the door this weekend. Got some extra wood at my brother's house from a project he was working on, me and my mom, and I'm going to use that. Alright, so now I've got it out. I'm going to bend this into here, into this section. Height. Just kind of bending the edges in. I'll get in close and show y'all. Some of these things hooked onto these different spots if I can. That's connected good. Just keep moving around. And then I'll just staple it to this door here. finish it up and make it real tight. So I'm not going to be able to finish this, it seems, until I finish the door. I'm not going to cut this roll yet because I don't want to waste the length of it that I would cut off. So for now I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'll be able to straighten this out, like I said, once I attach the door post. And I'll be able to attach it tightly to that so that it's taut and nicely shaped like the rest of this. On the edge here, all I did was take the ends of this one and kind of like bend them around. So you can see right here, I took it and bent it around. The other one, same here and here. And so it's on there really good, and they've matched up on the height, so that works out good. Change of plans. I was going to leave this rolled so that I didn't have to cut off here and then later cut off this section when I add the door, but I forgot I need this roll to finish my arch over there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then I'll set up the tripod and work on that arch. I don't want this to be a full arch. I want it to be like a half arch so that I can see when I'm here to the sides of my creek bed. First thing I need to do really is to secure it on this end, and then I will once I do that, I'll get the length I need and secure it the rest of the way. So I only want to go a little bit down because I want to be able to see. So let's say 5 notches, and I'm going to use a bunch of these twist ties and see how they do. Alright, so I've discovered that this pole on the right is actually taller than the one on the left, or the bumps are placed differently. So I'm placing this one at 4 bumps and that one at 5, because this one, the bump right here, is just barely shaved off. And this will keep it more parallel. Ooh. Squirrels fighting over there. So I'm going to do 2 ties on each one of these at least. I have a ton of them, so it won't harm to use more if I need to. Right, now I want this to come up over and like this. But how high do I want it? That should be high enough. now I'll go down the same length. So this one, I'll cut off the extra. Just need more ties. Get this resituated. So let me get one of these sides tied up, and then I'll be able to deal with the other one. This is where it'd be nice to have another person, but Barbie and the kids are at a homeschool co-op thing, so. Now let me get this other side, and it should hold a lot better. Got this pole space just slightly too far away, but I can pull it over because it's just barely. And then the last step will be to shape this into an arch more. If it ends up being too floppy, I may need to cut it a length shorter or go down a length further, but we'll see. I think I can bend it and make it look nice. Bend your arch shape on the edges here. I'm going to add another tie at least, probably more than one. We'll just give it more structure on the post, which is good. right, let me show you. Looks pretty darn good, if I may say so myself. So now I'll get some vines, native vines growing, and it'll be awesome. So I just wanted to show y'all these T-posts are really thick and heavy duty compared to these U-posts, and that's what I'm using for these two archways, and they're going to be really sturdy. But I also have been pounding them into the ground with this mallet, which takes a while and is destroying the mallet, which isn't the best thing. This arch is now done. Can go into the food forest. I'm going to grow some loofah there, grow a native vine of some sort here, maybe maypop. I am going to need to get some kind of support to go on the front and back of the arch. Maybe some kind of flexible metal tubing that I can bend. We'll see. But not only did I get that arch done, I also got the gate mostly done. I set these poles before I got a latch, and I was expecting to get a longer type latch and couldn't find that. So I'm going to have to reset this pole over 2 inches. But aside from that, I think it's looking pretty good, and for now, got an easy little system there. But I'll take care of this in a few days.